Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to my CCR. It's kind of hard to believe that it's been actually a full year since I did this last. I've learned a lot since then in terms of not only just media studies, but me as a person, and um, it's been quite an experience this year, and I have to say that it's been a good one. The project, obviously, that I chose is the music promotion package, and the second that I saw that we had the opportunity to do this music promotion package, I quite literally jumped at that opportunity. I love music, and I instantly thought of a band that I could use. My friend Anish, I've known him since my freshman year. He is the lead singer and bassist of the band. So I took advantage of that, got in touch with him, and we started this whole process on moving towards getting the whole music video and the entire promotion package done. So, if you recall, I did make a schedule at the start of my production, and I really did not do a very good job of abiding by the schedule. And a lot of that is my fault. A lot of that is just me not being able to stick to a plan that I make. It's just something that always ends up happening to me. I originally planned to film the video first and then move on to the digipack and then do the website last. However, I kind of did this in a bit of a reverse order, flipping the video to the end and doing the digipack and the website first. Looking back on this decision, it really wasn't a good one because I ran into a lot of issues in terms of getting filming done, and we'll talk about that in a little bit when I get to the section where I'm talking about my filming. But yeah, so I did kind of everything in a little bit of reverse order. I faced a couple of setbacks on a lot of the aspects to this project, which I will definitely go over in a minute. But yeah, so we're going to start off with the website and my thought process behind the whole design. So I decided to change it up a little bit and use Squarespace. It's kind of one of the newer website creators out there. And here in front of me, you can see my mouse moving, is the website in its entirety, and I'm going to go through, show you guys that. Again, detail my thought process behind each of the individual aspects, and then just go over my general thoughts. So right here on the landing page, it immediately tells you Convocation, which is the name of the album that Deep Seas basically asked me to promote. It's a brand new album. It is yet to come out. For some reason on the website, the banner that goes up here, it basically just says Convocation, June 13th, 2018, I believe it was, or June 3rd. It pops up at the top of the screen just kind of as an alert for viewers who are new to the website, so that if they do see that, they're like, hey, there's an album coming out soon. So obviously right here, we're advertising the album. If you click this list to album link, it takes you down to the bottom where there's a music playlist, which I was not able to edit because I don't have the full track list yet, as the album is still in production. So I just kind of left that up to the band to decide. And the reason why I left it up to the band for the band to decide is because they're actually going to be using the website and stuff. So back to the website. So the landing page is really cool. The color scheme, don't forget it because it comes back, is very nice. Rodrigo, a friend of mine, we actually filmed and took some photos from one of their shows last year, and this is one of them. So it's a really cool picture. You got the smoke from a fog machine, and also you have like these purple and blue lights that shine through, which is really cool, and you'll see a little bit more. You've probably already watched the video by now, but you'll see a little bit more in a minute. So again, this is the landing page. When you scroll down, there's a little bit of a bio about the band, which I think that is a pretty important aspect. This is more about the album as a whole and the inspiration behind it, along with just some details and some other stuff. Below this brief description of the album, we have a gallery of more pictures from that night. These are the unedited versions. I actually took this photo right here and went into Photoshop and added a gradient layer over it, so it went from a light to a black, which gave you a really smooth transition between the image and the actual body of the page, which I thought was a really good touch. And again, these are the unedited versions of the gallery. Obviously, when new pictures are taken, new pictures can be added. So I ran into a little bit of an issue with the upcoming shows part as well, because this website utilizes a website called Bands in Town, which basically details what bands are basically going to be local to you and what shows are going on. But the problem is that the band did not have a Bands in Town account, and also they're not planning on playing any shows very shortly, and if they are planning on playing shows, they're very local and they're kind of pop-up style, so there's no real announcement. They just kind of show up and play, so there's no real content here, which is a kind of a letdown to me, but I still think that it's an important aspect of the page, and when the band plans on growing, or not really plans on growing, but plans on hosting more shows, they can go here. Down here, there's a really brief news section with a Twitter feed. Obviously, social media is such a big deal with any sort of aspect to bands and the 21st century in terms of capitalizing on the market, because obviously this is an alternative rock band, which I did not mention. Well, I did mention in my blog, obviously, but it's an alternative rock band, so the following of the band tends to be of about my age, which is Generation Z to the sort of millennial age, trying to relive that 90s rock vibe. So I kind of wanted to incorporate social media within the website and within the marketing strategy, because obviously that's such an important part. This is the playlist area that I was talking about with the album. Again, it says it's empty because I don't know what the song and the track list. All I know is the song that I did the music video on is going to be on this album, so it's not going to be a problem. Down here you have the Twitter and Instagram links, which take you right to the page. And these tabs up here basically just jump you down to sections of the website, basically. The media tab is a completely different tab, and this is where it gets really cool, because I was able to incorporate a picture and an image, or not a picture and image, image and a video at the same time, and it really gives this really cool effect. Again, that's similar color scheme. If you hit this play button, it actually plays the music video. Down here, there's a bit of an Instagram feed. If you click on it, it takes you to the Instagram page, which is cool. So direct access right from the website, so people can interact with your social media pages. Again, you press this button, it starts playing the music video, but that's for a later time, so hold on. Again, another aspect to a band's website that's obviously crucial is merchandise, and I wanted to put a pretty, not a huge emphasis on it, but have it there for the purpose of it's important, because bands obviously use merchandise as a way to make profit besides selling their music. So here we have 3 different shirt designs, each for different prices, and then finally you have the vinyl, which you could order off the website. Again, if you go to this front page, there's a part that says buy on iTunes, which will take you to the digital download of the album, but since it's not yet on iTunes, that link actually does not work. So we have both the physical copy and the digital copy that you can obtain basically just by looking at the website. Finally, there's one more page. It's a contact page. Basically just says, hey, if you want to schedule a booking, you can just put in your info here and we'll send it right to me. Again, I put my name in it because, I'm kind of their manager. I'm really not their manager, but, it's just fun, I guess. So that's the website in its entirety. I really like the color scheme of the website. Everything flows really well together with the vibe that I was trying to produce within not only my music video, but within the packaging. And speaking of the packaging, that's what I'll get to next. So that's the music video portion. So here's the packaging. I messed up a little bit, and this right here, this should be on the right side instead of the left side, so that when it opens, it's in like a true book format. I'll just use this as an example. So you have this. I'll hold it like this because I guess that works. If this was going to match up exactly with that, this side would then kind of, when you fold it over, it would be like this, and then the back would be showing, or not the back, but the inside. So it's a little bit messed up. Again, it should be on this side, so when you fold it over, it looks like that, so it turns into an actual book. That was kind of bad an explanation. I'm pretty sure I did that wrong, but whatever. So what I was trying to get with this whole packaging style is I wanted to make it look like a diploma book. Now, I don't have an actual diploma book, but I have a paper version, which I'm actually going to grab right now because that would actually help me. Grab this and Okay, so I grabbed two things. First is this kind of papery diploma book. This should actually look kind of familiar because this is actually like my ACE diploma book that I received at the diploma presentation. And again, I'll just put the ACE diploma recognition paper to the side. But again, it's that same concept. Like this is the cover, this is the back, and then on the inside when you open it, which would be this shot, there would be kind of like a diploma looking thing on this side, and then the record would actually be in a clear pocket on this side, so you would be able to see exactly the whole record. And the reason that I did this, which I will explain with this vinyl, is because almost fell out. When you open up like your standard vinyl, I mean, there's obviously some pretty cool stuff in here, and usually there are pockets on the sides for the vinyl to come out like so. But the problem is that when you make something out of leather and out of a very hard material, cutting those pockets inside is very difficult. So I ended up deciding to just stick it in a clear plastic container, basically just on this side. I'm pretty sure that was completely out of focus, so I apologize if you couldn't see any of that. But yeah, so again, the inspiration behind the whole design is to mimic a diploma recipient book, which some people will actually just like store their high school diplomas inside of, and it's usually presented to you on graduation day. And again, the word convocation itself means graduation, so I thought that this was a really cool connection between the two, and it's also like the band's last album before each of them graduate high school and move on to college, where they'll probably join other bands and play some more music, but just not together anymore. So on the front we also have this seal, which kind of mimics that of a actual college, which I kind of wanted to grab that kind of like not necessarily collegey vibe, but kind of that official look to it, which I'm hoping that I got all of. But again, moving back onto the inside, we want to keep that same constant color scheme. I use this website. It's called Coolors, like Cooleors or something like that. And it allowed me to upload a picture and then just get a color scheme from it. So I actually uploaded this image right here, and then it produced a really nice color scheme, which I ended up using all over the website, like here in this text, again with like the links on the website, and I also got all of these colors from it. So it really, I wanted to keep that same flow throughout the entire project of those similar colors. So again, those colors are present here on like the diploma certificate here in the blue. And also down here at the bottom, we have the names of all of the members of the band. So kind of like a personal note to the listener, like thanks for being a listener of our music. And the reason that I chose vinyl is because vinyl is kind of like on an uprise right now. There's a revival state. Obviously, this album is not very old. I got this at a concert. That was a really long time ago at this point. That was 10th grade. So this came out in 2016. It's a really good album. I like it. But again, it's on a revival. Vinyl's coming back, especially in the alternative rock genre and a lot of those kind of more hipster, I want to say, genres of music that people tend to listen to. So that's just a thing to note. And finally, the last thing is the music video. And the music video, it could be better, but it could also be much worse. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm able to present a quality product, which I think that this is quality enough. And obviously you guys have already watched the music video, so I'm not going to play it on the screen record for the camera to see, but I'm just going to go over like my general thought processes and what I was thinking. Well, my camera died, so you're not going to be able to see me for these last few parts, but it shouldn't take too much longer because now we're on the music video portion. I'm screen recording, so it shouldn't be too big of a hassle to just kind of go with the flow here. But again, the music video, again, I thought it was good, but it could have been better. Obviously, I messed up by pressing myself for time, having to film and edit this thing in literally a day. That was just dumb on my part, and I really know that I probably should fix that, or not fix it, but for the next time and for future projects, not just media studies, but everything, I should probably get more of a head start in terms of the bigger components, because obviously, like, this music video is the most heavily weighted component out of the three, so I probably should put more of an effort into this. But anyhow, so the music video opens with a shot of, actually, well, I filmed the shots in white, all in 60 frames per second, with the intention of slowing them down, so it gave you more of an authentic slow motion look, kind of like this. It gives a more very slow look, and that's kind of what I was going for, which incorporates the idea of reflection and about thinking about the past. The reason why I opened up the music video with this shot is to also show contrast between the light and the dark, which was one of the big things that I was trying to go for. And one of the things Anish was telling me is like, throughout the song, there's like the contrast between the light and the dark, which is, in a way, the way I perceive it is kind of like good and evil. And I feel like these cuts between the light and the dark really do that justice and show that that polarization between the two sides. And I think that it also provides the viewer with a lot of visual content to not just to process but to think about, and kind of, in a way, it kind of wakes you up when it's so bright and so sudden. But yeah, so the point of having these shots here is kind of, it's in a way it's a cutaway shot here. Where's the next one? Right here as well. And then here at the end, it's kind of like a secondary storyline, if you will. It's not really a storyline, but it's kind of a way to show that this entire video, basically all he's thinking about is that one relationship that he had that he didn't appreciate, and that was not good for him. And the point of at least showing those shots is to show, again, reflection on his past and what he's done. Originally, I intended this to be more of a storyline style music video, but I ran into some problems, especially with actors and stuff, because I was very short notice about all that stuff, so it ended up not working out well for me. But everything ended up being great. So I actually filmed, I think there's a screenshot of where I filmed on my desktop. Yeah, right here. So I actually filmed, this is my local park right here. It's a very public land, so you can go over there. I parked the car right here in this spot here. That didn't work. I'll zoom in. I parked the car here, right here, and I took extension cords and ran them all the way over here. It took 3 extension cords to get to there, but it ended up working well. And the reason why I ran extension cords is because Anish has this thing, he calls it the light box, and it quite literally is a box that has a bunch of lights in it. And the point of this is to light a lot of these shots. Now, most of what you're seeing right now, this is all done as a result of the light box. But we also use, right here, you can see some of them, they're like fairy lights, which are basically Christmas lights. They're blue LEDs, and it actually ended up working perfectly for the color scheme I was going for, and those also helped light the shot and create a different ambiance. So right here is one of our actresses. Again, I intended to be more of a storyline, but then that didn't end up working out too well. These shots, again, are to show that he's thinking about that relationship that he once had and how it's kind of gotten away from him. Again, they're just thrown in there as cutaways, again, to kind of split up the video. Right here, it's kind of interesting because as this shot goes through, then it cuts to black. And the reason why I did this is for the viewer to think about the lyrics. And then finally, it starts back up with Anish singing again. And it's very abrupt, and also does a very good job, I think, of at least having the viewer reflect on any personal relationships that they've had that have gone awry, just like the one that this song is talking about. The promo shots are actually really cool. Again, we put a lot of emphasis on lighting and having a lot of blues and purples and colors like that, and it ended up looking really good. As you can see here, that constant color scheme is something that I was really trying to go for. So the music video is kind of mostly like this. I mean, it's pretty repetitive. That's mostly a function of the fact that I was not able to get too much footage because I was very pressed for time. So again, here at the end, Anish kind of came up with this idea for this last shot. He was kind of inspired by like early 2000s music videos, and he's like, you know what? I want a shot where the camera follows me falling like this, and I found this to be kind of a fitting way to end the video because it's kind of like, oh, I'm tired of this. I don't want to think about this anymore. And that's kind of the way that I saw it. So again, the music video tended to be a little bit more promotional than I originally intended. But either way, the end product actually looked really good in my opinion visually. I mean, obviously, I'm my own harshest critic. Um, I definitely could have done better than this, and looking back, I should have done better than this. But this is what I could produce in the time that I had. So I really hope that you guys all enjoy it, and I hope that this experience as a whole really does change how I work, not only with myself but in projects, because I did this all by myself. Like, I didn't do it all by myself. Like, I had some friends help me set up and do some of the shots and stuff, because one of them, at least specifically, this was all done on a Ronin, like these cutaways, and I've never used one before, so it was kind of a learning experience for me. But I'd like to thank Rodrigo, obviously, for being such a great help with filming and all that stuff, and Anish for being obviously just a great guy all over for helping me film stuff like that, at least being in all of these shots, obviously. And we ran into a bit of a problem because none of his bandmates could make it out that day, so Anish had to play drums and he also had to play the bass, and sadly we didn't have access to an electric guitar, so we couldn't have any guitar shots. But either way, obviously you run into those problems every so often and you have to work around them, and I think I did a pretty good job of working around them. And I'd also like to thank Molly for waiting 3 hours with us as we filmed all these promo band shots. It didn't take 3 hours to film, but to set up and all that stuff, it took a while. So I'd like to thank Molly for that. She was such a big help, and she was available on a moment's notice, which I appreciate so much, because without her, I don't know, this would have been absolutely horrendous. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know I've been rambling for a little while. I hope that I make this a little bit more interesting than my project from last year. But all in all, I had a great time. Thank you guys so much for watching this and listening to me talk for a while. So with that, see you guys next time, even though there won't be no next time because I'm graduating. But media studies has been an awesome experience, and I really appreciate the opportunity that's been given to me to take this class and to learn so much about filming. So with that, I'm officially signing off for the last time. So see you guys.